Today we're taking a look at these NBA matches, which are happening on Wednesday, March 8, 2023, and giving you our team and total picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and make sure to watch it till the end so you don't miss any of our picks. Also check out our Patreon if you want access our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. You will find the link in description and comments section below. One more thing before we start, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link in the description and comments section below. Atlanta Hawks vs Washington Wizards. Taking the Wizards to cover their spread in this one for a couple of reasons. Atlanta is coming off a day's rest, while Washington against the Pistons last night. I typically do not like to take teams on the second leg of a back-to-back, however the Wizards will be at home instead of on the road again, and the Hawks tend to struggle against the Wizards, failing to cover in 4 of their past 5 meetings in Washington. The Wizards match up well with Bradley Beal providing the guard play, while Kristaps Porzingis and Kyle Kuzma handle the bigs. These teams also play very similar, with both teams ranking considerably higher in adjusted offensive rating compared to their adjusted defensive rating, according to Dunks and Threes. The Hawks have been struggling as of late, dropping back-to-back games to the Heat, and tend to struggle coming off a day's rest, with the team failing to cover in 4 of their past 5 games coming off a day's rest. The Hawks have also failed to cover in 4 of their past 5 road games. On the other hand, the Wizards have covered in their past 5 Wednesday games and in 10 of their past 14 games against a team with a losing record, making me confident in taking the Wizards to cover their spread in this one. Take the Wizards plus 4 points. Taking the over in this one for a couple of reasons. Both teams are very offense-oriented, with Atlanta ranking 11th and Washington ranking 10th in adjusted offensive rating. For further context, the Hawks rank 22nd and the Wizards rank 20th in adjusted defensive rating. The Hawks also rank 7th in terms of pace, meaning we can expect this to impact the Wizards and force them to play at a similar pace. This change in pace will lead to more possessions for both teams and in turn, more points. All of these ranking were pulled from Dunks and Threes. In terms of trends, the Hawks have gone over in 4 of their past 5 games playing on a day's rest, while Washington has gone over in 9 of their past 12 home games against a team with a losing record. When these teams face off, they have gone over in 4 of their past 5 meetings, including their only meeting this season, where they totaled 224 points in the game. I expect another high-scoring and offense-oriented game, making me confident in taking the over for this matchup. Take over 233 points. Cleveland Cavaliers vs Miami Heat. The Cavs are much better this season than they have been in the past, but it's hard to ignore that they are just 3-13 against the spread in their last 16 trips to Miami. This should be a tightly contested game, but I trust Miami's head coach Erik Spoelstra more than JB Bickerstaff. Bickerstaff has done well overall, but at times he also seems content with where his team is and would likely be happy with just winning one of these 2 upcoming games against Miami. With these teams playing each other twice within 3 days in Miami, I don't see the Heat dropping both games. I believe the smart play here is to take a shot at the home dog for plus money. Our team pick is Miami money line. The Cavaliers and Heat are both nestled near the bottom of the league with respect to pace of play and will remain there for much of the year. Miami has been struggling from deep as of late, but that changed 2 days ago. They made 16 3-pointers, their most in a game since December 15. That was a great sign considering how much they have been struggling from beyond the arc. This is a big game against the Cavs, and I expect both teams to come out firing here. The total number has gone over in 6 of Cleveland's last 8 games and 4 of 5 on the road. These games are low scoring, but I expect this one to go over the projected total. Portland Trail Blazers vs Boston Celtics. Damian Lillard had 31 points, 13 rebounds, and 12 assists, securing his second triple-double of the season and third of his career before the end of the third quarter, as the Blazers coasted by the Pistons 110-104. They are in a dogfight in a hotly contested bottom of the Western Conference, and they are tied with 3 other teams for the 10th and final play-in spot. Boston keeps building huge leads and subsequently blowing them. They led by double digits against the Cavaliers before losing in overtime. 4 days ago, they led the Brooklyn Nets by 28 points before blowing that game as well. Portland needs these games in a big way if they want to make the playoffs. I like them to persevere. Take Portland to win. Jason Tatum did not play in Boston's 118-114 loss in overtime, and it showed as the Celtics blew a double-digit lead down the stretch. They have not been playing their best basketball, coasting through the season after they built a massive lead in the opening months. They will get some more shots to drop with Tatum back in the lineup, and the Blazers are on fire offensively, with Damian Lillard dropping close to a triple-double every night. The total number has gone over in 4 of 6 between these two clubs at TD Garden. Further, the total has gone over in 8 of 11 for the Celtics. Take the over 229.5 points. Dallas Mavericks vs New Orleans Pelicans. I am going to ride with the Dallas Mavericks on the road, as I see them covering the spread in this game. According to todaynba, the Mavs have the 7th highest adjusted offensive rating, and they have shown that they can score from anywhere on the court. I don't see the Pelicans being able to slow down Doncic and Irving either. They are one of the best backcourts in the NBA, and they can efficiently score on anyone. They will stay hot on the offensive end of the court and score enough points to cover the spread. I also don't see New Orleans scoring enough points to keep this game competitive. They have struggled on the offensive end of the court, as they only have the 20th highest adjusted offensive rating, and they are 3-7 in their last 10 games played. They aren't playing great basketball, and Dallas is only getting stronger and stronger as this season goes on. Pick the Dallas Mavericks and expect them to cover this spread on the road. In their 3 prior meetings this season, they combined to average 228.3 points per matchup. Over their last 5 games, the two have combined to average 231.6 points per game. Despite the results not turning in their favor, Dallas has been an absolute menace on offense since Kyrie arrived. They've scored 122 or more in each of their last 3 games and have scored over 130 twice in the last 5 games. They are also shooting over 50% in that span, and Doncic has been a monster since the All-Star break. New Orleans will need some scorers to step up, and they should be able to at the very least keep pace with Dallas for much of the game. The over is 4-2 in the last 6 matchups, and between the two, there have been 70 overs. Take the over. Oklahoma City Thunder vs Phoenix Suns. If they were fully healthy, I would take the Thunder to cover against Phoenix. The Thunder hit a rough patch while Gilgeous-Alexander was out of the lineup, but with him on the floor, they've been excellent against the spread this year. On the season, Oklahoma City is 38-24-3 ATS even on the road. Oklahoma City is 7-2-3 ATS over its last 12 away games. The Thunder have been balanced enough offensively and defensively that they don't rank outside the top 20 in any major statistical category. But Coach Daigneault hinted at the possibility of a minutes reduction for Gilgeous-Alexander, and the Thunder are holding him out the second night of the back-to-back on Wednesday. The recent wrist injury to Williams complicates things even further for Oklahoma City. The Suns are rolling now with Durant in the lineup, as they've covered 4 straight times. Phoenix boasts one of the best defenses in the league, which isn't what you want to see when 2 of your top 4 scorers are banged up. Phoenix has too much firepower for this Thunder squad right now. Give me the Suns to cover. I really like the over in this game, as Oklahoma City plays at the 2nd fastest pace in the NBA, according to dunksandthrees.com. The over has hit in 4 straight games for the Thunder entering Tuesday, and on the year, they have an over-under split of 38.25. The over has hit for the Suns in 2 straight games and 4 of their last 6. On paper, the Suns' offensive numbers aren't exactly through the roof this season, but I expect those to keep climbing as Durant continues to mesh with the rest of the superstars on this roster. Despite a low shooting percentage this season, Phoenix's offense is 8th in adjusted net rating, which categories net points per 100 possessions, adjusted for strength of schedule. These teams combined for 139 points at Phoenix last month, and that was without Durant on the floor. I'm siding with the over. Chicago Bulls vs Denver Nuggets. This matchup is a tale of 2 teams going in opposite directions, and with the Bulls having to hit the road, they'll struggle to remain competitive in this one. The Bulls are one of the worst teams in the league on the road, and adding to that is that Denver has only lost 4 times all season at home, as they have one of the best home court advantages in recent memory. The Bulls have two top-end scorers, but with little depth and struggles in the frontcourt, taking down the top team in the Western Conference is going to be too much to ask. Our team pick is Denver, -8. The Bulls have gone over the point total in 3 straight games, and their opponent has scored 125 points in the last 2. The Nuggets have gone over the point total in 3 of their past 4 games, and they have gone over in 2 of their last 3 home games. Chicago scored 126 points in their last matchup with the Nuggets. Chicago and Denver currently rank 16th and 21st in pace of play respectively. Most of the trends point to a higher scoring affair. Take the over 229.5 points. Toronto Raptors vs Los Angeles Clippers. The Clippers finally broke out of their slump with that comeback victory over the Grizzlies, and I'm expecting them to stay on the right track. Norman Powell, 16.6 ppg this season, is out with a shoulder injury, but with both Paul George and Kawhi Leonard healthy and ready to go, the Clippers should outlast the Raptors on the home court. Toronto is struggling to defend the three-point line. The Raptors allow 12.7 triples per 100 possessions, 25th, on a 37.7% clip, 29th, and the Clippers are making 37.7% of their three-pointers, tied 6th. LA's defense hasn't impressed either, but the Clippers own more offensive weapons than the Raptors. Our team pick is Los Angeles Clippers -3 points. The Clippers shot 52.9% from the field, 12 for 29 from deep against the Grizzlies, while going 33 for 35 from the foul line. Paul George went off for 42 points and 11 rebounds, Kawhi Leonard tallied 34 points and 10 boards, and Eric Gordon added 17 points off the bench. The Raptors are 9th in the Eastern Conference, 2.5 games ahead of the number 11 seed. They score 114.9 points per 100 possessions, tied 12th in the NBA, and allow 114.4 points in return, tied 18th. The Raptors have made 45.1% of their field goals and 35.0% of their three-pointers over the last 5 games. Our total pick is over the total.